you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well.
This is Evie. I'm not sure if you guys met.
Have we met? I'm sorry, I met a lot of people over the weekend.
Briefly at outside the Hollywood.
Perfect. Yeah, I believe did you buy a tie-dye shirt?
I did.
Yeah, it
Not
was
sure
purple
if
and
I
pink.
do. It was, yeah.
Yeah, so I do remember you. Yes. I remember, and I'm pretty sure I saw you at Berkeley wearing it as well from a distance.
I did wear it to, I think, the first night Berkeley.
Okay. Yeah.
Very nice.
Are we waiting for Mr. Winter?
Here he is.
Oh, perfect. I thought I was going to be.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How is everybody?
Fantastic. How's everybody else?
Good to see you again, Dylan.
I know I don't have my screen on my office at the moment. It's a mess.
But I know what you look. I
No
do know what
worries.
you look like because we
Yeah.
finally met. That was great.
Ab-
And
Absolutely.
Evie, I've heard about how many shows you've gone to and intend to go to, and I'm quite jealous.
Hello, Winter. So nice to meet you.
So, how were these shows, guys?
Fantastic.
I had two experiences for both nights, so it was fantastic. I hung out in the parking lot Saturday, so I bought a ticket for Saturday, and then I ended up not going in because I started hanging out with the parking lot people, and the vibe was good. And Sunday was fantastic as well, and that was completely different.
Could you still hear the show from the parking
Oh,
lot?
perfectly. Yes.
Nice.
Oh yeah. And plus my car was there, so I was like, oh, perfect. I'm just gonna sit here. But it sounded a lot better when you're in the pit, but that's louder and natural. So
And you got shut down?
I
saw?
did, yeah, I got shut down. So it was the same lady from the previous night. I actually got in there before they actually set up. So Sunday I was running a little late, and they were set up before me, and they knew exactly who I was. They knew the car. I parked in the same spot, and then as soon as I started unloading stuff, they're like, "Yeah, we can't have you." And I
Wow.
was like, "All right, no worries." I was all sunburnt and like dehydrated, so I was like, "Yeah, you win this one. It's fine. Like I'll go on my way."
Dang it. I meant to wear my cool forklift shirt that I got from Dylan on Saturday, and I left it in the car. Oh, well. Sorry, Dylan. I really wanted to promote your shirt.
No worries. I was definitely rocking one all day and debating if I should switch to the long sleeve to save my skin, but I put tons of sunscreen on for the Sunday show, and I still got a little crispy. So you win some and you lose some.
But for anybody listening who hasn't seen my Instagram post, you can see a picture of what that looks like. And of course, you can see it on Dylan's own page. It's a cool, cool shirt. And of course, the forklift theme is awesome. And I believe it's got the tour dates on the back, right, Dylan?
It does, yes. So it has the dates on the back, and it includes the front of the shirt has the track listing. It's basically, so the whole layout of that shirt is basically the table of contents of a forklift owner's manual. So instead of the pages, it's the track listing, and then on the back is just the tour dates with on the crate.
Was this was Hollywood Bowl the first time you've sold t-shirts in a lot?
Yes. So back in 2019, I was basically selling stickers in San Francisco. So there was I already knew in San Francisco there was no way of setting up anywhere. I think it was the Bill Graham. It was just that city is too congested, especially that area. So I knew I wasn't going to get it. But yes, to answer your question, that was the first time at the Hollywood Bowl. And it was exciting. It was just more of just meeting people and seeing people, like a meet and greet, basically.
Yeah. Sabrina mentioned you kind of got shut down there too.
I did, yeah. The block is hot,
Yeah.
so I had to do some audibles and figure some things out, but it still went smooth.
Boy, people have easier time selling weed in California than Dylan has his shirts.
Yeah, there's a lot of yeah. I mean, I look at the hot dog cart guys and I was like, I salute you. But it's like these guys are everywhere, and I'm getting shut down for shirts, and it's just like I'm getting kicked out, and I'm like, I'm gonna grab a hot dog, of course. So as I'm like wheeling out and like talking to the guys. Same thing at Berkeley. Like right before I got kicked out Sunday, I was talking to this lady that was selling just straight up tie dye shirts in front of the Greek theater, and I was just like, how? Like she was just like, I just got here before everybody else, and I was like, all right, that's the way. If you want to sell T-shirts in the lot, you basically got to show up before everybody else shows up, and then I guess they won't say anything because that's the experience I've had.
You were popular though when I got there. I had to wait in line for a little bit to get my shirt from you.
It was a little hectic, yeah. So I had my girlfriend with me, and it was basically just like, all right, all hands on deck, and yeah, there was quite a little rush, and then around 7:30 when the show started happening, it was like a little hectic as well. So there was like little like hot pockets of like people showing up, but still fun. It was still fun, like, you know, seeing yourself, you know, and everybody else, and yeah, it was just a good solid time.
Very nice. So this Saturday show at the Greek had the craziest, it seems so far, encore cover request section.
Yeah, that was a lot. I think I counted 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14. No, 12, because he passed on
12, yeah.
passed on Espresso, which was a damn shame, because that would have been awesome to see. So I count 12. It was also the most impressive well, I've only seen 2. I saw Hollywood Bowl and I saw Berkeley. And it was the most impressive because it looked like, if I read the room right, they didn't quite know how to do Buddy Holly at first, and they just figured it out on the fly. Is that the sense that y'all got too?
Yeah,
it seemed like one of them played like maybe, I don't know, like a couple of 2 or 3 notes, and that was enough to like get other people going, and they sort of just manifested it. Sorry, Yvie.
No, I was saying it's really cool to watch because they've done that with like other cover requests too, where like Ezra will start playing the chords or something, and you can see Bayo like get close to him to like look at exactly what he's doing, and it's cool to see them like teach each other a song like on stage.
It's very Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band.
Oh, have they done that with requests?
Well, they just play songs on the fly. Like he'll just be like, all right, we're playing this song, and they're like, all right, we're doing it, and it's not even in their category or like catalog. It's just some random song or just some song they haven't played in like years. So it's like they're just on top of it.
I imagine as deep as Springsteen's catalog is, they can't possibly rehearse all the songs or know all the songs. So yeah, I can see what you're saying. You know, something from that they haven't played in 20 years, they might actually have to figure out on the fly, even though it's one of their songs.
And it's just also, I just feel like I don't know, I'm not a musician, but like to take on that, to just be like, all right, we're just going to take requests, is just very like intimidating to me. To even try it is just, yeah. So when you hear and see it, you're like, all right. Like, I get it.
So you're a fan.
It's exciting. I like it.
I'm fairly confident that not all musicians that I have seen in concert in my life would be capable of doing that.
Did you guys have a favorite from the 12 that they played
on Saturday night?
On Saturday night, I could list them all.
Well, I just like Buddy Holly as a song. And I like I'm Going Down. That's a great album. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the songs that I just the ones that I like.
I imagine they knew I'm Going Down pretty well, since they've covered that a bunch.
Oh, I would love to see the entire song. I'll have to look that up.
What's the 12 songs? Refresh my memory, please.
This Must Be the Place, Boys Don't Cry, Casey Jones, I'm Going Down, Song 2, Every Day, Peggy Sue, Buddy Holly, That Thing You Do, Dear Maker, Red Red Wine, and When I Come Around.
Yeah, they played Zeppelin. That was pretty rad.
Yvie, you've told me you're a big Led Zeppelin head. How do you pronounce the name of that song?
I say Dire Maker, but who knows? But yeah, I was very excited to hear another Zeppelin cover. I also thought song 2 was really fun. I like those big like crowd pleaser types of like stadium rock songs, so that was like fun to get to see live.
They used to cover song 2 at the end of Don't Lie on the Modern Vampires tour. It was really good.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could have heard Don't Lie. It was on the list that I just posted on Reddit of tracks that I wish I could hear and haven't been played in the last four concerts that I've been to. I imagine that Yvie, since I imagine that those of you who are going to Montana will probably hear some of those tracks that haven't been played yet, and people who are going to Madison Square Garden will probably get a lot of songs since it's no repeats, right? Except for just one track, like Walcott.
Yeah. Could be 60 songs more.
I am so jealous of y'all who are making it. I want to get fired from my job in what is it, like August or October? September?
October.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I either finish early or get fired so I can make it to Madison Square Garden.
It can be arranged.
Finishing early makes me look better than getting fired.
Possibly, yeah.
But speaking of no repeats, even though Berkeley was not a no repeats show, I just counted, and there are 10 Vampire Weekend songs on Sunday that they didn't play on Saturday, and that's not counting the whole entire second post encore segment that were different songs, except for Mary Boone. And well, Mary Boone was different because it was countrified, and then I didn't count the other way, but it looks like there's at least half a dozen songs, probably more. Well, yeah, at least half a dozen Vampire Weekend songs on Saturday that weren't played on Sunday, plus the 12 covers. So they were substantially different. I mean, there would have been no reason not to go see both shows if you're a hardcore fan and could make both shows.
The encore on Sunday is like one of the most special moments of the tour so far. Maybe the most special moment of the actual tour.
Why is it so special for you? Because
I felt like with Amber Kaufman being there.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I posted right away that as beautiful as Ezra's voice is, there's just something special about bringing a female voice there to harmonize and for duets. I just wish that she would have been there on Saturday at the beginning to do Hold You Now, the whole song with Ezra. That would have been great. That's what he did it with Greta in the last tour.
Yvie and Dylan, what did you think of Amber?
Yvie,
I thought it was
the
great.
floor is yours.
Thank you. I thought it was great. I'm not really familiar with her. I feel like she did the Peggy O like live version with them, right?
Yeah.
On Sirius.
Yeah, so that's what I knew her from. Not familiar with her otherwise. So I thought she was like a lot of fun. It was cool. Like I agree with you, Winter, to have like those female harmonies. I loved when Greta was with them on the Father of the Bride tour, so it was interesting. I was really surprised. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was a lot of people leaving during the encore Sunday, like from the pit.
Bay Area traffic
Around. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, it's Father's Day. I know they like joke sometimes like they want to do the matinee show so people can like get to the grill. So I don't know if that was it, but yeah, like a lot of people were leaving during that encore, and Ezra kind of like nodded to it too, like being like, like thanks for sticking through, like Cocaine Cowboys, like here's Walcott kind of a thing.
I think he might have even said y'all are still here at one point.
Yeah, so I definitely think they noticed. I was like, what is going on? But I know that that's not everyone's favorite thing. But I feel like also people complain about getting the cover requests, so it's interesting that like now they were getting like actual fleshed out covers, and then people were still giving. So
well, I was disappointed that they didn't do requests, because I had a sign ready with Pizza Party on it, and then after I posted on Reddit and I was told that he had already rejected it on Saturday and that he'd done it, I think in Irving, I figured no, I'll have a better chance if I request something Wu-Tang. So that's I would love to see that at some point during the tour. I mean, the album Energy is the Wu-Tang Rage Against the Machine aborted tour. So I would think he'd be open to that. Where were you all sitting, Yvie and Dylan?
I was in the pit both nights.
I was in the parking lot behind the lawn, but I had lawn tickets for that night. So I stood out in the parking lot with the parking lot people. And then Sunday I had the pit. So if you were looking out to the crowd, I was on the left side.
Oh, wow. Okay. So all three of us were in the pit on Sunday.
Yes.
I was trying to look around for you, Winter, when Ezra shouted you out. I was like, oh, Winter's around, but that was cool that you got a shout out.
You could have just messaged me. I would have told you where we That's how I connected with Haley, the person who resold me her ticket. And that's the only reason that I was in the pit. I'm scared of the pit because I got a weak bladder. And somehow I managed to make it all the way from like, what was it, like 3:15, 3:10, whenever Mike Gordon finished, I immediately rushed to the restroom, came back, and then I never had to go again all the way to the end. And that was amazing. I planned it right. I had very little coffee in the morning.
That's good, yeah.
I was only sipping water. I mean, I was just taking like as much as I needed to keep my mouth from feeling parched as a strategy for not having to leave, and it worked. So I may try pits in the future.
Yeah, I got a weak bladder too, so I felt that on numerous levels.
Yeah, I'm typically finding seats is tougher for me. A, because I'm always by myself and single seats are harder to find, and B, I'm looking for something on the edge so that I can scoot to the loo.
We Belong Together is kind of a controversial one, I feel like, in the fan base. Are you guys fans of that one?
I like it. Why is it controversial?
I think people view it as, I don't want to say childish, but sort of. I mean, like, the lyrics are simple.
He literally said that last night. He said it's a simple song, and we said it's Father's Day, and this one's kind of for children or something like that.
I guess some people view that negatively.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe they weren't children ever.
I'm a huge fan of it. I was actually blessed to hear it Saturday before they did sound check, so I got to hear it.
Oh wow!
They did it Sunday.
I didn't realize that they sound checked
Peggio
with.
Yeah, she was there on Saturday.
I didn't realize they sound checked with songs that don't actually get played during the set.
Oh yeah, like if you look on my From the Freezer page, you can hear, like as I'm setting up, like you can hear Peggio, you can hear We Belong, and then I think what other one? I Stand Corrected, if I'm correct. But yeah, they were doing sound check when I was setting up my table, and it was an absolute delight.
Okay, so Evie, Dylan, favorite tracks from Saturday, favorite track from Sunday.
I'm so keen on the Buddy Holly track that like I think it's because I want to go back on YouTube and try to find a version of it so I can relive it. But Sunday it has to be Horchata. Like that was my big moment.
Oh, the person I was with loved that too. What about you, Evie?
I think Saturday I loved like just all the requests. It was fun that we got so many. Sunday, obviously, I'm a huge Cocaine Cowboys fan, but I loved the daytime Mary Boone. I thought was really cool. I was thinking about that like when I was standing there, like, are they going to do Mary Boone since it's so like dependent on the lightsaber aesthetic when they're doing it live? So I thought it was cool that they came up with a different way to do it. And I brought my fiance with me to those two Berkeley shows, and he like does not like Mary Boone, but after like he was like, I kind of liked like the new one, and now he started like listening to it. So that was fun. Yeah, I like that one.
For me, for Saturday, it's a tough call between Worship You and Yahé. But I'm going with Yahé, Worship You, simply because I feel like I've heard that the least. I know that I've heard Yahé. I heard it in Cleveland. I heard it at Madison Square Garden, and I heard it in Saturday Night Berkeley. I don't think I've heard Worship You as many times, and I just think that's got to be a hard song to sing as quickly as Ezra spits out those lyrics. And then Sunday, I would go with Hannah Hunt, which is my second favorite song, except that they finally played M79, and I had been waiting for that for a long time. So I'm going with that. And if I had to pick a third, it would be Bambina. Although I am embarrassed to say that it took me at least 60 seconds to pick up Bambina. I was like, what is this? I can't, I know it. It's on the tip of my tongue and I can't figure it out. I finally got it before I had to look it up.
Thank you, Winter, for live updating on Reddit the set list as it was going on, by the way.
I figured some people would appreciate that. You know, I know that the list will go up like immediately after the show, but I figured there's got to be at least one person on Reddit like refreshing the page, like eager to see what's coming next. Biggest disappointments, like for me, not being able to request Wu-Tang was one. The other one was they went into the H portion on Sunday, starting with Horchata. And then, you know, I'm like looking around at the other people and saying, okay, what H songs are there? And I'm throwing out Hudson and Houston, Dubai. And then they go into Hana Hunt. And then, of course, they had to do Harmony Hall. But if they'd have gone a little bit longer, they could have thrown in either a Hudson or a Houston, Dubai. But then I figured, okay, well, they're in the H's. They're going to definitely close with Hope, right? And they didn't. I
guess just to keep the night to night or night to day variation. Because they have like a whole outro they do with Hope, I think. At the end. Is that correct?
And is it possible that outro works better at night?
I feel like that was maybe the idea behind it. Because I was like waiting for it too. I was like, okay, they're going to end with Hope when he said that. But it was like, I guess that is like, they're like leading into the abyss works better at night.
Did anything disappoint you, Yvie? I mean, something had to. If you had to pick something. The Cocaine Cowboys wasn't an hour?
Yeah. I think I was expecting like some more guest stars or something like with the California shows in general, just because they have all like the friends and family around. But I think especially for Father's Day, because I know like I had seen them in Father's Day in Chicago a couple of years ago, and they had Mountain Brews open for them, and like it was like fun. So I was expecting some Mountain Brews or something, or that there would be a little more guest appearances for some of those California shows. So that was kind of disappointing.
When I saw that Ezra had recognized you, Winter, I was disappointed that you weren't the Gold Rush bag toss thrower.
Nah, I think that would have been too much. I'm honestly happier that somebody else got it, especially the dad with 2 kids. That's just adorable.
Did he make any?
Only with the help of some of the crew, I think, jumping up and down. I think Bayo went up and he started like playing his bass really hard at the bag, and then a couple of crew members who were behind it, I think, started stomping, and it actually went in. So you know, it's more legit than what I believe happened in with Paris Hilton.
We'll give it to him.
Yeah, and like, you know, that kid, first he handed the dad $100, and then he handed another one to the kid, and that kid was so happy. I mean, you should have seen the look on his face. What about you, Dylan? Anything that you found disappointing besides getting kicked out?
No, I was defeated already by the Sun, so I was a little bummed out by that, but I was, like I said, the sun and dehydration, it can really take effect on you. But I'm not a real big person to complain about stuff, but I mean, where's our Father's Day merch? That's what I want to know. I mean, I think Ojai got the frogs. Where's our bears?
Wait, have they? Are you saying they've done?
Yeah, so I think it was Ojai
merch.
Yeah. So I believe 2019, San Francisco, and then again, it comes back to like, oh, you were spoiled in the past and you didn't get it. So I'm in no position to complain, but the San Francisco 2019 shirt was basically just the frog on a VW bus. And it was just like super like 1960s, like hippie Haight-Ashbury vibe. But I was just like, oh, there's no shirts. Okay, that's fine. I'll take 6 lighters, please. And I would just walk out with like a t-shirt, and that was it.
Oh,
but like,
right.
If I had to pick it's not a big complaint, but if I had to pick one, I guess that's it. But that's a huge reach.
I didn't realize that, but you're right. In LA, somebody in line ahead of me was wearing a Austin Moody Amphitheater shirt. And if you're listening, David from Houston, just shout out. But yeah, I didn't really connect. That's when I first realized that there might actually exist concert-specific shirts out there. So those are probably real rarities amongst the collector community, right?
For sure.
Yeah, he definitely spotted one out in the crowd and said like, "Oh, that's a rare one." It's like, "Yep, I'm sure is."
Yeah, they
I
did
don't have it.
Chicago Father's Day shirts too, so I was expecting like a Father's Day shirt because they have a history of doing that.
The snack bar that I was right by the merch didn't have any mustard or ketchup too, so I'm gonna complain about that as well. Like I got a hot dog and I was like, great. I was like, where's the condiments? They're like around the corner. And there was nothing. And I was swindled. And I ate that thing with no condiments. But yeah, no Father's Day merch and no mustard and ketchup. Case closed.
Okay, so what I'm wondering is I didn't actually realize that Ezra was pointing to me when he shouted me out. Because I thought that he was looking off to the left, and I thought he'd spotted it something to the left of the screen, and he made some reference to "Where's Waldo?" And then when he actually said "Winter," I was surprised and I was caught off guard. Yvie, Dylan, did either of you pick up on exactly what happened, what the sequence of events was there? What was he shouting out somebody else at first and then me? Or did I just completely not notice?
No, I think it was you the whole time. I think he was like, "Hey, Winter," and then he was like, "Whoa, I just had like a Where's Waldo moment because he like spotted you."
Oh, so the Where's Waldo reference was to me. Okay. Wow. I thought he was looking off to the left. Yeah. Yeah, I feel silly now.
Where's Winter?
But how many have you seen, Yvie, so far this tour? 5, 6, 7, 8?
7. I've seen all of them so far this tour.
Oh, you've seen all of them. Okay, so you're in the authoritative position to speak. Like, how much variation has there been? Like, have they gone through all of the songs in the VW catalog? Like some of the ones.
I feel like there's been a good amount of variation. Like it's definitely been different every night. I think there's like the typical kind of like they'll do like their C's section with like the connect and classical kind of things, and like I feel like there's certain songs that they usually play like one after another. But yeah, it's definitely been like different, and even just like the jamminess of it, like certain songs, like I feel like Colin has been getting like a little more groovy on certain songs, and you can see them kind of starting to have like more fun with it. But yeah, it's definitely been like a different experience every night.
Has there always been the 2 or 3 older songs at first, and then they go into Ice Cream Piano, Classical, and Connect?
Yeah, so far it's always been.
Is that the only? Is that the only like consistent stretch of the shows that you've been to? The one that has happened every single show?
I want to say yes. And then I think like there's like in the middle, well, they've been doing like their like ska section kind of like when I think at some of these later venues, they maybe didn't have the capability to do like the aerial background drop. So they usually were doing like aerial drop, and then they would do like Sunflower and Flower Moon or some of the more like jammy things. So I guess they weren't always doing that.
From what I can tell, the 4 shows that I saw, those 3 classic Ice Cream Piano, Classical, and Connect were the only consistent stretch, and all the other ones were mixed to one degree or another, which is interesting, which is really cool. I've been going to concerts all my life, and I would have to say that most of the other artists that I've been to seem to be more consistent in their sets. Like I've seen Mary Chapin Carpenter 10 times, and she seems to be very hits heavy, maybe because that's what the older audiences that go to see her want to hear. She barely ever covers like even half of the songs off the new album, I would say. So I'm actually pretty impressed with Vampire Weekend, and I would say that you could probably go to every single show in the tour and have a great experience at each one. And I wonder if anybody has ever done that, because that would be awesome. The full VW.
Yvie, your next show is Missoula?
Yep.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, I got home this morning from San Francisco, and I was like dead trying to unpack, and I was like, I don't even need to really unpack fully. So, yeah, I'm leaving on Friday to Montana. Very
Oh, so
excited
you're
about.
not going to be able to do the full VW.
I'm not, unfortunately not. I do have to work sometimes. Um, so yeah, I will be at work a little bit this week, and then I'm going to Montana.
Maybe that could be a goal for LP6.
Yeah,
Like save up as much money as possible to do the entire tour.
that is a
I
dream.
mean,
Yeah.
actually, it would be if you anybody who worked remotely could do it
Yeah.
because the concerts are usually at night. So you could work an entire day. And, especially if you were working like a 20, 30-hour week, you could absolutely do it. I could absolutely do it if I had a remote job when LP6 drops.
Also, Evie, congratulations. I think you got engaged since I last spoke to you.
I got engaged in April,
Oh, okay.
like a little bit after the Eclipse show.
I just saw a story and got confused. I got you. Well, congratulations anyway.
Yeah, but thank you. It's still pretty recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, when's the wedding?
Next September.
And are you working out a way to get Vampire Weekend to play a private show for your wedding?
Be so wonderful. We'll see what we can do.
Put the
I
word
mean,
out.
if they keep recognizing me, I'll make a sign or something. Do you want to come
Go-
to Michigan for my wedding?
Let's do a GoFundMe
Yeah.
to raise enough money
Yeah.
to entice them to play Evie's wedding.
I wonder how much they charge for a private. Maybe we could get Taper's Choice or something.
From what I understand, during the pandemic, I believe I heard Ezra say that they did a private show. That was one of the few performances they did during the pandemic, as besides those couple of festivals like Outside Lands.
Dylan, are you going to make it to any more shows this year?
I would love to go to New York in October, but it's up in the air right now. I just started a new job, so I already gave up days for this LA and Berkeley show. So we'll see how it goes, but I would love to go to that show.
Fair enough.
Never been to New York, so it'd be fun.
Love to have you.
Both of us all three of us not going to as many shows as we want to because of work. Gosh, I missed when the United States was a communist country and you could take off as much time as possible to go see concerts, right? You remember those days?
I will see you soon, Evie. Can't wait. And Winter and Dylan, I hope to talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
If I can somehow figure out a way to make another show, that'd be great. But it'll all depend on work.